صباح الورد والياسمين عليكم يا شباب يا صبايا. معكم طارق وايمن من هوشه MMA وستارز بلاي، واليوم معانا ضيف من اروع الضيوف اللي حتقابلوها في حياتكم، بلال. Remember the name, Muhammad. What's up, my brother?
What's up, my brother? Thank you.
What's going on?
Where's my
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I was looking at it and he wasn't looking at me, so I was like, all right, I don't want to make it awkward. I don't want to do this.
Bully, we know you've got a busy morning. We're not going to keep you hanging around too long. We wanted to get, first of all, just your impression about fight week so far. I mean, from my perspective, I've never felt Abu Dhabi like this before for a UFC event. How are you seeing it?
Oh man, yeah, the energy feels amazing right now. Just the people, the crowd, and for me, like I don't have a fight, so now I get to enjoy it. Where I'm not hungry, starving, and it's like not hangry, so we get to go out, we get to eat. Yeah, it's amazing so far, especially at the mall yesterday at the open workouts. But it was huge.
It was insane.
It was. It's our first media experience as well, so.
You guys are getting the taste of it all.
No, but even then, I'm always here for fight week.
Yeah.
I've been coming to the UFC since 2007 when it first came to Abu Dhabi. The first event here was Anderson Silva, and it was outdoors. There was no stadium.
Oh, wow.
They were literally fighting in a park. No joke. And I've been coming since then, but it's never had this feel to it. Like people in the mall are talking about the fights.
Yeah.
People in the buses are talking about the fights. Like it just feels like all of Abu Dhabi has finally gotten into it.
The entire city is buzzing.
Yeah.
It's like a monumental event.
Yeah, I mean, just the people on there, like literally the co-main and main event. You have Kamaru Usman, you got Islam, you got Hamza, you got Volkanovski. All of them are on the pound for pound list. I don't think you've ever had a card with that many pound for pound fighters on there.
Not at all, Volkanovski. Yeah.
Did you see anything in the past few days, be it from the open workouts or anything anyone said in media day, that allowed you to maybe second guess yourself on who your picks are?
Not really second guess, but it's like I'm more confident in Islam now because I'm looking at Volkanovski and he's playing the role, right? Like, oh yeah, I ain't got nothing to lose. I'm the one that took us on 12 days notice. Like everybody has something to lose, right? You wouldn't take this fight if you didn't care about winning or losing. He's a champion, right? He cares about losing, but he's putting out those excuses now, like self-handicapping himself. Like I just got off the couch. I did this 12 days notice. Islam's the one who has to go out here and dominate me. I just don't like that type of talk. It tells me like you don't care if you lose, right? Because you're building up all these excuses before the fight.
I'm worried that's a lose-lose for Islam, because if Islam beats him, he beats someone who just got off the couch on 12 days notice, right? If Islam loses, he lost to someone who got off the couch.
Yeah.
Notice. It seems like a lose-lose for Islam.
No, it's not. I mean, it's not a lose-lose for him. It's just the mindset you're going in there with. For Islam, I'm beating the pound-for-pound guy, and I'm cementing myself as the best to do it, right? He dominated Volkanovski. He dominated Charles. People are rewatching the Volkanovski fight for the first time now, and they're like, well, okay, now I see 4-1 when you rewatch it. Yeah. So, but he goes out here, he gets a finish against Volkanovski. I don't care if he got off the couch or not. Finishing him, it's like, yo, this guy said yes. Like, even when I fought Gilbert Burns, I'm like, I'm not going there with the mindset like, yo, I got off the couch. I'm like, no, I don't want to lose. Because once you lose, regardless, it's still a loss on your record. 10 years from now, they're going to look at the record and they're going to say, oh, he got off the couch. Now I'm going to be like, he beat Volkanovski twice.
Well, this makes me think about Islam's future. And this is a tough question for you, Bully. Are you actually going to be the backup fighter for Leon and Colby?
I mean, for me, I don't want to be backup. I want to be front up. Like I should be next. So I shouldn't have to. Yeah, and they promised me that next. And I think that, Dana's a man of his word. So he says that you're next, and he says I never break my word.
So you're next, you fight Leon, you beat Leon.
Yeah.
Now we've got Islam, one of your teammates, somebody you trained with, somebody who likes you and respects you, saying, I want to go up. What happens there?
I don't think so. Like, he still has a lot of fights left at lightweight, right? Everybody wants this. They all talk, especially before the fight and stuff like that. Like, it gets you the clicks and everything like that. Like, I want to be double champ. Everybody wants to be double champ, triple. I think he could literally skip welterweight, go straight up to middleweight, and beat the guys at middleweight. Like, he's that big. He's that big, and he's that good. Like, I think he's that strong enough to go out there right now. I think he finishes Sean Strickland. So,
oh wow.
For me being like, I would never fight Islam, and I don't think he would either. I think he would skip it. But like,
that's what I was thinking. There's no way Islam will fight Bilal.
Yeah, I think after this fight, you should have Justin Gaethje sitting right there. So he still has the Justin fight. He hasn't fought Poirier.
That's a big money fight.
Yeah, these are all huge names that he still has at lightweight.
Yeah. You mentioned the backup fighter, right?
Yeah.
Let's loop back to that a bit.
Yeah.
Mateusz Gamrot was the backup fighter for this fight. They completely ignored his existence, skipped him, and went straight to Volk. Does that change anything the whole this backup fighter scene?
I think, I mean, for me, Volk deserved it more because if you're looking at Gamrot, he just lost recently to Beneil Dariush.
Why sign him as a...
Because you need somebody just in case. Like I think backup fighter is the last second. Yo, day before, we need somebody to weigh in. Day before, like that's the backup fighter, right? And that's why I don't want that role. It's like,
No.
if they call me, like, for me, I'm gonna stay ready in shape for 2 weeks before. Hey, one of these guys pulled out. You want to step up? It's yours. But day before, it's like I'm not gonna cut weight for just a check. I don't really care about that.
No, that's
Yeah.
fair enough. When Ayman was asking about, is there anything that made you change your mind from what you saw in the open workouts and the press conferences? How did you think Hamzat looked in the open workout yesterday? I mean, that's a guy who's supposedly cutting weight, who should be exhausted, sucked out completely. Man,
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even looking at the open workout. I looked at him pick up DC, and I was like, oh, okay.
did
And
you
it was
see
like,
the video? He picked up Daniel Cormier.
yeah, and it wasn't like people were like, oh, well, Weili Zhang picked up Francis Ngannou. I'm like, no, she picked him up from like underneath high crotch. It's easier to do that. He picked up DC body lock from the top, and that's a different type of pickup. Yeah,
How stressful are these open workouts, by the way?
I
To
mean,
get in front of a crowd, especially like
yeah, because you want to make obviously you want to get the crowd involved. You want to do some fun stuff in there too, but you're also cutting weight, and that's why the hard part is. And you want to get, when I'm cutting weight, I don't want to waste any workout. So I want to get a real workout in there because you're like, yo, I'm going to waste 2 hours going to the mall, doing all this stuff. So I need to get something in there. So like that's why you saw a lot of the guys actually get like pad work in, wrestling work in, and all that stuff in. Then you look at other guys' open workouts like Israel Adesanya, where he'll make it like a wrestling, do the people's elbow, or funny stuff like that to try to
Yeah.
get the crowd involved. Everybody has a different mindset. Like I saw all the guys yesterday actually like try to get a real workout in.
Hamza looked great, man.
Yeah, I mean, he looks good. You're going up 15 pounds. You don't have to cut the weight now. It's like,
He looks so confident and flowy, and in his flow, I don't know. He looks so natural. I don't know. With the
Yeah.
rest, it feels like they're
yeah. I mean,
On the stage,
the rest of
yeah.
them are like cutting weight, right? They're all like there, and especially for Hamza, he's been here. He's already acclimated to everything, and
Right, that's a big
he hasn't fought in how long? So like, I can
13
tell you,
months.
for him, he has to be excited to be back in there. Like, finally, I'm back in there. Everybody's excited to watch him, but for himself, I'm like, yo,
Any concerns with him having left All Stars? Like, there's been a little bit like of a. There's a lot of conjecture always around Hamzat because he is such a big personality. He's such a superstar. People are like, oh, he's left All Stars. Is everything okay with Andreas? Will he get the workouts that he needs in Abu Dhabi and Dubai? Is he still going to get the training he needs? Has he made too much money? He's living that
I need to add
superstar.
something on what he asked before you answer.
yeah.
Do you think he got softer in Dubai?
I mean, we're gonna find out, right? That's the thing. It's like in America, we could see guys. We have other guys in other gyms. Like for him, his stuff is he has a small circle, so he has the guys that are around him, and none of them are really talking. Like, yeah, Hamza got soft or something like that. You don't see him at other bigger gyms. So I mean, we're gonna find out Saturday what all this changes does for him. He looks like a guy that no matter what, he's gonna work hard, right? And you have that mindset, but you have to have the coaches around you that are gonna not just be yes men. Like,
Keep you in check.
hey, you got to do this, this, and this. And you're going up a weight class, so does that mean you're doing less cardio now? You're not going on the jogs that you need to cut the weight. Because when you're cutting weight, it's like, I got to do the extra miles. I got to make sure I do this. I got to make sure I do that. Maybe that's what I'm worried about is making them softer is like, I get 15 extra pounds on me now. I don't have to do the...
That's the side effect. That's the side effect.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, I want to call it the side effect thing that happens with you when you don't need to cut weight, right? Because the cardio might just go out the window.
Yeah, I mean, and he was already a guy that he sprints so hard in that first 2 minutes, and you saw him get a little bit tired in the Gilbert Burns fight. But that was a war, and you're cutting weight to 170 now 185. His only what did he fight there once, and he knocked the guy out in a minute.
He's fought there a few times before the UFC,
Yeah.
and then in the UFC, I think he's fought at 185 twice.
Oh, twice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice. Yeah. So we'll get an idea because Kamaru's not gonna fold, right? Kamaru's gonna test you. And if he doesn't get the finish in the first round, then we're going to see where his cardio's at, where his mindset's at, and where his energy levels are going to be at.
So give us your picks for the main
We
event.
know
Let's
the
go.
picks. Give us the how.
I mean, for me, I think Islam is going to win dominantly. I think that for the rematch for something like this, I think after going through with the first fights, Islam learned much more than Volkanovski, right? Islam learned from his speed. He learned that Volkanovski's not going to just be able to, you're not just going to take him down and dominate him as much. And you get a feel of his body, where he moves and things like that. So I think from the rematch, it's going to be easier for Islam to make the adjustments than it would be for Volk. Because Volk is like, I think Volk's coming in with the mindset like, oh, I didn't get finished in the first round with the wrestling or anything like that. But I just think it's more Islam underestimated Volk's wrestling because he dominated everybody. He's like,
he was hard to take down.
Yeah. So
but also because he's short, he's wide.
Yeah. So now I think Islam's wrestling's easier to make the adjustments on that than it is for Volk to make the adjustments on the defense. I think Islam's going to come back with different wrestling, different things now, and I think Islam's going to get a finisher.
Finish.
Yeah, I like the finisher. Yeah, I'm going with finish. I think that, Volk, I think he has to go full force in the first round, second round, because even in that first fight, the later rounds, Volk was getting a little bit tired, right? People are saying, oh, Islam got a little bit tired. He got this in the fifth round and everything, but go back and rewatch it. I think it was Volk that was getting a little bit tired. He knew in the fifth round he needed to finish, so that's what made him go full force. But I think Volk, this time, he's going to come out a lot faster earlier, and that sprint's going to make him more tired than it is this time, because this time could take you down, grapple you, and know where to go from those grappling situations.
Fair enough.
Co-main event, I'm going with Khamzat. I think that, rewatching a couple of Kamaru's other fights, Kobe's shooting on him. It's like Kobe's going for the legs. I go back to the Maia fight. Maia got in on his body a couple of times, and Kamaru had to do a hard wizard. Remember that one time where the ref had to stop it and take him off the cage? I'm like, if Khamzat gets on your body, I think he's gonna be able to pick him up. And the only time he saw Kamaru on his back, Leon dominated him on the ground, right? He didn't do nothing. He gave up his back pretty easily. He controlled him. I think Khamzat's gonna be able to take him down with body lock, and I think he's going to be a little bit too strong for him. And even for Kamaru, he's gotten rocked a couple times we've seen recently. From Burns, from Leon rocked him with that knee, the head kick, and it's like Khamzat does hit hard. The only issue is Khamzat doesn't have head movement. He stays in front of you, and he likes the war. And Gilbert Burns rocked him a couple times with just a jab.
That was a big mistake, man. I think he made a lot of mistakes in the Gilbert Burns. I think him having fought Gilbert is going to be a disadvantage to Kamaru. I think he would have learned a lot from that fight. He would have learned what not to do with Kamaru.
Yeah.
Like, Kamaru would have been better off had Khamzat not fought Gilbert.
Yeah.
I know people keep coming back to the Gilbert fight, but the Gilbert fight is not a good thing for Kamaru because I think Khamzat will have walked away from that going, I'm not doing that again.
Yeah, 100%. And, Gilbert Burns loved that type of style, too. But Kamaru's not going to do that. Kamaru's not going to stand in front of you and just bang it out. He has better footwork. He has a great jab, and he knows how to pace himself.
Yeah.
He knows I can see Kamaru trying to push him to the cage and wear him down. So that's why I say, Khamzat, you can't sprint. You're not gonna just walk through him like you did against Holland, because if Holland got out of that submission, we would have seen where his cardio was, how he got tested, and things like that. So
I think he knows that.
Yeah.
I hope he knows that.
Third from the top, my upset call.
Your upset call?
Ankalaev, Johnny Walker.
I mean, I think Ankalaev's gonna walk through him.
Walk through him.
I think he's gonna walk. He's just so good, and I think that that last fight, they didn't give him the rematch. They didn't give him the title fight. It's angered him.
What's been the gap?
The best light heavyweight in the UFC.
But what's been the gap with Ankalaev? What's been that thing that's just not gotten him to that next?
He had a bad reaction to that bad day. That's it.
Look at the Volkan Ozdemir fight. Terrible fight. His fight with Blachowicz. Meh. You know what I mean? He's missing that one breakout moment that just he hasn't. He's just not getting. That's one thing. Two, I think, from what Johnny Walker has changed in the last 3 fights, I see him on the way up.
I mean, it's interesting because you see in the Jan fight, the leg kicks hurt him, right? And then you saw Johnny Walker leg kick Anthony Smith really hard. But I just think that there's really nothing else that Johnny Walker could bring to the table. I think Ankalaev's going to wrestle him, take him down, and I think if he takes him down, he's going to dominate him. Yeah, I think, and that was the thing in the last fight. Ankalaev, when he took Jan down, he dominated him. You could tell his coaches were yelling, take him down, wrestle him. But I think he just loves the striking a little bit too much. And when you're losing one of your legs, that's your base. So I think that's what hurt him a lot.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Islam, Khamzat, Ankalaev. Awesome.
Bilal, future 170 champ right here. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. I will catch up with you later on in Fight Week.
Sure, brother.
Peace.